Okay guys, so today I'm finally going to be doing my winter collective haul. So the reason why this is a winter collective haul instead of just a Christmas haul is because some of the stuff I got back in November when I went back up to the ranch. And it was just stuff that was at the ranch that we didn't personally know was even at the ranch because the tack room was always such a mess. My grandpa was not known for being a very neat and organized person, especially when it came to the tack room. The tack room was always a mess. You could get to the saddles and the grooming kit and that was about it. Anything else there, you had no idea what was in there. So I think I've gotten everything from there that I needed. So that'll be the first stuff that we talk about, and then the rest of it is Christmassy stuff. So the first thing that I brought from the ranch, not bought from the ranch, is this black mohair cinch. Now, if you don't know what mohair cinch is, it's a type of cinch that has these thick, cottony strands. And these are my favorite type of cinch. If I were to pick out of any cinch out there, if like I went to a store and I was picking out a cinch, I'd pick out this kind. And the reason why is because these little fibery strands hold onto the horse's hair because the hair goes in between them and holds onto it. And it keeps your saddle from slipping. But this is Bugsy's, and I had no idea that it was at the ranch. I thought that someone had taken it, had broken, I don't know, I didn't even know it was there. Because somewhere along the line, it was changed out for the one that has the fleece lining. No idea why we changed it out, but we did. And of course, we know it's hers because it's the black one. Cat had a white one. But so, I finally got my mohair cinch, and if I didn't have if the mohair cinch wasn't at the ranch, I would have bought a new one anyhow, because I really do like the mohair cinches. And they also make it so Bugsy doesn't overheat as easily. The fleece one does make her really hot. So the next thing that we brought back from the ranch was a thing of mane and tail detangler. Bugsy has a very, very thick mane that's very difficult to brush out. Kira, go away. Go. Lay down. And she's, much like me, she's very tender-headed. So if you yank on her mane too much, she gets really pissed off. So this is really good for her. And I, again, didn't know that was there. But that's why we bought the mane and tail detangler, was because she's so tender-headed and she doesn't like it when you yank on her mane. She doesn't really like her mane being fussed with anyhow. One of the many reasons why she would not have been a good show horse. The next thing that we found at the ranch was this thing of, I can never say that brand name, but it's hoof dressing. And Bugsy's feet, they get a little bit dried out every now and again. They get brittle and crumble. So the hoof dressing is really good for her. I might do a video on how to put hoof dressing on properly, because I've seen people do it wrong so many times, and they do it in the most ridiculous way. So I will do a video on how to properly put on hoof dressing, because it is something that for some reason people have a hard time doing, even though there's directions on the bottle. So then we also found a thing of Thermoflex liniment oil. This is really good for horses that have sore muscles or joints that bother them every now and again. And we bought this originally for Cat, because Cat had a lot of joint issues because he was 26. Yeah, he was about 25, 26 years old. And he was a really big boy, so his joints hurt him a lot. So we bought this for him. And Bugsy, her muscles and joints don't really bother her that much, but every now and again she does get a little bit sore. But she is almost 21, so that's understandable. The next thing that we found was a thing of Thiodyne 7, or Thiodyne 7. It's pretty much a spray-on healer. It's very similar to like a Neosporin, but for animals. And you can use this on any sort of livestock animals. You can also use it on your dogs and your cats. So that's really good. And the last thing that we brought back from the ranch is in a bag, because if you know this product, you'll understand exactly why it's in a bag. And even the smell is horrific. So we found a thing of mane and tail, or mane tail groom, I should say, MTG. And this stuff is really good for horses that have any sort of skin problem, if they need to grow their fur back. I use it on Bugsy's mane where she has that, where her mane flips over onto the other side, because right there she gets a lot of dandruff. I'm not entirely sure why she gets dandruff there, she just does. So this helps her a lot. It's also really good for horses that have bald spots. Now, if you have a horse that has a bald spot because of some form of parasite, like mites or worms, then this will not help you. You need to get rid of the parasites before you use it, and then you can use it. We used it on Waco's, by the dock of his tail, he was bald, and we used it on that, and it cleared it all up and made it so that his hair grew back in, I want to say, like a couple months, which was better than what it was before. It also made his tail grow a lot faster, which is good. But the stuff does smell really bad, and you have to make sure that you shake it, because if you can see, there's all that weird looking stuff at the bottom. It looks almost like sand. That's all the good stuff. So you do want to make sure that if yours is separating, that you shake it up really well, because you want all of that good stuff. But it's going to go back in this bag because it smells god-awful. It really does. It smells so bad. It works really well, but it smells horrid. And you can use it as like a shampoo as well if you have a horse that has skin issues, like they don't like the regular shampoo bottles, or the regular shampoo types. If you have a horse that's sensitive skin, it's usually pretty good for horses like that too. So then that was all the stuff that I got in November. So the rest of this stuff is all Christmassy stuff. So the next stuff came from this horse subscription box called a pony box. It's pretty much a monthly subscription. You pay for it every month, and you get different grooming things, health things, treats, whatnot, stuff like that. So it's like just like a little goodie box every month, I guess. And so they were holding a bunch of different raffles over the winter time, and it was their holiday raffle contests. And I signed up for 2 of them. The first one was like different liquid healing stuff, like wound cleaner, hoof stuff. I think there was like hoof pick and treats and whatnot in there. So I did that one and I didn't get it. The one that I did get is something that pretty much the main reason why I wanted to get it was because there's something in the box that my mom really would like, and I ended up giving it to her because she really, really likes this object, and I'll tell you about that as soon as I talk about who sent the box. So, a pony box is affiliated with a bunch of other people, and the different raffles were held by different companies. So the one that I won was by Saddle Lockers, which they have a bunch of different saddle locker type things, saddle racks, whatnot, stuff like that. And if I hadn't just made my own saddle rack, I would easily have bought one of these. But they fold in on themselves and turn into like a flat sheet. And so that way, if you need to move them for any reason, they're very compact and very small. But they are very, very nice looking tack locker, and I seriously would have bought one if I hadn't made one. But so that's who made this little collection. So the first thing that was in the box is this giant, I think they're called infinity scarves. It just says knitted. And it's got this very soft, thick, dark navy blue yarn. It's very heavy, considering it's a scarf. And it's very, very warm. This is the thing that I wanted to get for my mom. The reason why I applied for it, because my mom loves scarves. She absolutely loves them. She has a whole portion of her closet dedicated just to scarves. And she wears them to work and whatnot. So I thought that this would be a nice little thing to give her. And this one's really good for her in the wintertime because she does get cold very easily, even though it's not really cold where we live. But I like how soft and heavy it is and how warm it is, because it is a very warm thing, which is very nice. and she really seems to enjoy it. She's had it a couple of days because they got this box on like Friday of last week. So she's had it for a couple of days, so she's really been enjoying it. The next thing that came in the box are these little welly liners. They have an embroidered saddle lockers logo on there, or name. And wellies are like rain boots or muck boots. Obviously I've spent too much time with British people. But they're by Slugs, I think. Sure, let's go with that. They're by Slugs. And they're very, very soft. They're almost like a fleece texture, and they have this cute little, what is that pattern called? Plaid. Green, blue, and white plaid on the top. And this cute little button. But they're very, very big on the foot. I'm not sure how well my foot's going to fit into them because I have about average size feet. But they're very soft and they'll be very warm for winter, which is good. And then the last thing that came in this package was a 4-set of navy blue polos, because everything else in here is for the people, but this is for the horse. And they've got these cute little embroidered horse head on them, and then the embroidered saddle lockers. And I want to start teaching Bugsy how to do barrels. I'm not going to compete with her or anything like that, but I do want to teach her how to do them just for like a fun thing. So these will be really good for that. I have to actually teach her to be okay with polo reps though, which could take a while. She's had things wrapped around her legs before because she got kicked in the leg by Chief, our Palomino. But I have no idea how she's going to do with polos, so that'll be fun. I'll also do a video on how to wrap polos, because if you do it wrong, you can really hurt your horse. And personally, I prefer polos if I have a horse that doesn't overextend, but obviously if you have a horse that overextends, you want something with a little bit more of a barrier. So using boots would be better for those kind of horses, but polos are really good for horses that are kind of aware of where their feet are going so that they don't kick themselves in the back of the heel. So that's everything that came in that box. I will have the saddle lockers website linked below, as well as a horse box linked below as well. That way if you guys want to subscribe to horse box or buy something from saddle lockers, I just lost a polo. Okay, so the rest of the stuff is all Christmas stuff that I bought with my own money. Now the reason why I didn't get any gifts for horse stuff is because my family either doesn't know what I want, or if they do know what I want, they have no idea what size to get it in, what color, make, whatever. So everyone just goes, here's money, go buy a thing that you need. So that's what we do in my family, and then I just figure out what I need and go and get that on my own. So the first half of my Christmas shopping I got at Cal Ranch, which is one of the many local tack stores by me. Cal Ranch is, I think it's just in the United States. It's a fairly large branch of Home and Ranch. It's a big home and ranch store. I don't know if it's anywhere else. It might be in Canada, but I have no idea. But I'll also have them linked down in the description as well. But so the first thing that I got from there was a 3-pack of Wrangler socks, because I've been needing to get really tall socks for my boots because I hate wearing my Western boots and having tiny socks, because I have short socks for my sneakers, but I need tall socks for my boots. And all my tall socks are getting really worn down and old and whatnot. But so they have different patterns, like this one has a horse on it, this one has big horseshoes, and this one has littler horseshoes. And they're very, very soft and very nice and kind of stretchy, so these are really nice. So then the next thing that I got was I got my my wormers for the year. I only worm Bugsy twice a year, so I only got 2. I only have 1 right now because I've used the other one. And I did do a video on how to worm your horse. I don't know when I'm going to post that just because of scheduling. But I'll probably post it next week. Maybe, I don't know. It might be the week after. It depends on what I think is priority to go out. But so I bought our warmers for the year because I always buy my warmers for the year in January. And then the last two things that I got at Cow Ranch, I really didn't need to buy right now, but I didn't want to worry about it in March because these are two bathing products. So the first thing is mane and tail shampoo because I'm completely out of shampoo, and like I said, I didn't want to worry about it around March when it starts to get warmer here. So I just bought it now. Figured it may as well. Why not? And my favorite kind of shampoo for horses is mane and tail. I think it works the best. And it's not like we need anything fancy. She's not a show horse, so I don't need to get her any sort of special color shampoo. The only special color shampoo I get for her is my White and Bright, because her socks get so dirty and so yellow, and I hate that. So I did want to get her another thing of Official Links. We're almost out of it. So this will last us a lot longer than the mane and tail will because we don't use very much of it. So that's all the stuff that I got at Cow Ranch. The next thing that I got, which is what I've been waiting to do this video for because it took forever to get here, was a package that I got from horselovers.com. And now normally I don't order from horselovers.com. I don't have anything against the website. It's not my favorite. But there's a specific item that's in this box that I couldn't get anywhere else. So I kind of had to order from them. And then there are two other items in the box that are things that I was going to get at Cow Ranch, but because I went on Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, they didn't have a lot of things. So I had to wait to order it all. Okay, so I've kind of angled in a weird way because the box is very big and it doesn't fit where my camera is. And my camera has to be a certain distance away from me. But, so in the box there's a bunch of bubble wrap. The first thing that's in this box, which I don't know why it was wrapped in bubble wrap, it really didn't need to be, is some all-purpose boot leather cleaner. And I understand why it's in a bag. That way if, like, the air pressure makes it pop, it doesn't get all over what else is in your box. That I understand. But why it need to be in its own bubble wrap, I don't understand that. So, there we go. This is what the leather conditioner looks like. Now I got some leather conditioner for my Western boots because they're very, very dirty and I need to clean them. And they need a little bit of a conditioning too. So I figured that this would be the best considering I didn't want to get leather cleaner for saddles because it's a little bit different. The saddle leather is slightly different than boot leather. So I wanted to make sure that I got something that was good for boots. I got a hoof trimming set because I want to start trimming Bugsy's feet. Her feet grow super quick, and I really hate that her feet are so long. I mean, we're halfway through 6 weeks and her feet are already long enough to where I could trim her feet again. And I know how to trim horses' feet. It's not like I've never done it before. So, and if you guys want, I can do a video on how to trim a horse's feet. But this is just the basic kit. It's got a rasp, a hoof knife. It's got a handle for the rasp and a pair of nippers. And this is by Tough One. There's another one that you can get that has a second pair of nippers. But I figured that going with the one that had just the big size would be best because her feet are super hard. Alright, and the last thing. Those two things I meant to get at Cow Ranch, but they didn't have it. Or the boot cleaner I forgot. Saying that right now. I totally forgot about that when I went to the store. But the nippers they didn't have because they were out of them. But this last thing is something that I can only get from Horse Lovers. And that is, I'll take one out of the packaging so you guys can see it. And then I'll put the other one back in the box. Is a new pair of Wintec fenders because my saddle is a Wintec. Now, why did I buy a new pair of fenders? Every time that I explain this, it just proves how short I am. These are youth length fenders. I have super short legs, and the fenders on the saddle that I have right now never fit me. They never have, and they never will, because my legs are super short. My torso is much longer than my legs are. So I've always had to have youth length fenders. And so now that I have the saddle is mine. I wanted to get myself a nice pair of fenders that actually fit me, because if your leg is too long in the saddle, it throws your weight forward because you're stretching your legs out, whereas if you bend your knee, it puts you back on your seat bones. So this would make it a little bit easier and a little bit less of a strain for me to sit properly. And these are really nice and stiff. And they're very nice. Very nice. I'm very, very pleased with this. And of course, I had to get it in black because my saddle's black, and that would drive me nuts if it wasn't black. I think Chick Saddlery also sells these, but they didn't have any in black, so I didn't want to get any from Chick Saddlery. Also, I think they were less expensive at horselovers.com. So I'm just going to put this box off to the side, and then I'll come and talk to you guys again. Okay, so that's all the stuff that I got for myself. The last thing that is, that was a Christmas present for me, other than my tack locker, which there will be a video probably out next week. I'll probably do the warming video on Tuesday and then the locker video on Thursday. That's most likely how that's going to go. But, so that was also sort of a Christmas present, sort of not. But, so this is the only actual legitimate Christmas present that I got that was horse related. And Susan made this for me. And it is a 4-picture photo of Bugsy. So the first picture is her and Rocky. The second one is her just eating by herself. And this one is her and Rudy. That's Rudy right there. I just did a video yesterday for him. And then there's just Bugsy standing out. I think she's in the background, just standing out there. So I thought this was really sweet. If you know me, you know that pretty much taking photos of like any sort of my animals and doing something that has to do with photos is like one of the best presents you can do for me, because I love my animals. And as a Christmas present to Susan, I made a calendar of all the horses that are at the barn. So we both are very into having pictures of our animals, and that's a great Christmas present if you can think of a creative way to implement that. So that is my winter collective haul. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot more than I normally get. But then again, I did buy most of the stuff. Some of the stuff I got for free. So it's a lot more than normal. But I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, the warming video should be out on Tuesday, and the tack locker video should be out on Thursday. I filmed a bunch of videos on Saturday, so there's a whole bunch that I have to go through, which is why I was in the same outfit in all of those videos. So that'll be a lot of scheduling and figuring out when things are going to get posted. So I do have a lot of videos, and I'm still going to be filming even more next weekend. Hopefully I can do a barrel video soon. I really want to do that because that's just, to me, it's a lot of fun. And I haven't done barrels in like a year and a half, I want to say. It's been a long time. But anyhow, guys, so we're going to end it there.